Hi everyone, Les and Wendy here from We Love St. John.
We're here just doing an impromptu video on what is probably our warmest summer night so far, 26th of July, 2025. And Wendy and I are out for an evening walk, just enjoying the beautiful summer warmth. And we like to show you the city the way we see the city. So that's what we're doing right now. We are sitting on a nice bench along the Harbor Passage, which is a beautiful trail that goes all the way down that way to Reversing Falls and beyond. And as I pan back, it goes all the way down that way, all the way around through into Uptown and along the harbor front, and then extends all the way beyond that very far corner there to a little place called Tin Can Beach. And then it is being extended even further than that. But we sit here, we come here for our daily walks, and we just enjoy the view of the cityscape here. And so we thought we'd just show you a little bit about what we see. And right there in front of us is a Coast Guard boat. So we have a Coast Guard and naval station here. And to our very far left, I'm going to zoom in. You might not be able to see it, but we have our TD station, which is where our concerts and sporting events happen. Above us here is the Harbor Bridge, which is connects the east to the west side of St. John, one of my favorite bridges to watch. And those big robot looking things in front of us are 6 cranes. When Wendy and I moved here, there was 2 cranes to offload cargo ships, and our port just keeps expanding. So we now have 6 cranes, and probably going to be more. And
Good evening.
We're just letting somebody pass by here. And we actually were lucky enough to go on a port tour just a week or two ago and see just how massive an operation the Port of St. John actually is. And it was very fascinating. We see some of the things, like you can see this cargo ship right here, and we see it being offloaded. But there is so much that goes on behind the scenes with these massive warehousing areas back here, and where all of the containers are stored and then trained out to across the country. Lots of people enjoying the trail out here today. And
we saw the molasses.
Yeah, we saw the Crosby Molasses area, and
Yeah,
also you've probably heard in the news lately there's been a lot of talk of potash, which is one of our most valuable exports, and a lot of the potash is processed through the Port of St. John. So if we zoom in, if I can, just to show you a bit of the skyline. So that greenish building, that is the first of 5 buildings being built on the Fundy Quay. You may have heard of us talking about Fundy Quay before, but it is a very probably the most ambitious growth project the city has had here. And across the front of it, the Harbor Passage actually goes right across the front. So this trail that we're on right now is basically waterfront from end to end for the most part.
It's a gorgeous walk. How long do you think it is?
I don't know in total. I know that from one end of Uptown to where we are and back is close to 6 kilometers.
Okay.
So it's a good length, and it's always being expanded. There's plans to expand it all the way to the west and the east, so that you could walk from one or cycle from one end of the city to the other. And as we've talked about before, it's quite a compact city to begin with, but really nice to be able to get from one end to the other without needing a vehicle. And this ship here, this green big ship, that just arrived in port the other day, and we looked to see what it was because it's massive, and apparently it is lays undersea cables or pipes, and so we're not sure what it's doing here, but
It's called the Yellowstone Luxembourg.
yeah, so it's a European flag ship, and it's we get ships coming there sometimes that stay. That's that where that part is docked is called the Long Wharf, and sometimes they come for maintenance or testing or repairs. Sometimes their project is not ready to be started, so they just park there for a while. And you can see there's some cranes in the foreground there. Our city has grown quite a bit over the last few years, and so construction is happening. We have a lot of road work too, which is an unfortunate part of a growing city. But when Wendy and I moved here in 2018, there was never really any road work. But now the city's growing so fast that there's a lot of upgrades and maintenance being done throughout the city.
Yeah.
And now I'm already zoomed in, so I'm not sure if you can see it, but there's a bunch of containers over there, shipping containers, and that is called Container Village, and it is dual function. It helps to greet the cruise ship passengers when they come in with lots of local merchants and food and drink options. There's a big outdoor bar, and right now it is hosting, as we speak, the Boxcar Country Music Festival. So Uptown is just a hive of activity right now.
Lots of cowboy hats.
Yes, and that's a whole weekend event. There's like multiple bands on throughout the day and evening on Saturday and Sunday. And then in a couple of weeks, I think we have the Area 506 Music Festival, which is more of a mainstream rock type music festival. So something for everybody. And right now our tides are out. Some of you may know that St. John has the highest tides in the world along the Bay of Fundy here, and it can change the look of the harbor and the bay dramatically from one part of the day to the next. So right now our tides are way out, and the harbor is extremely calm. But I think it was yesterday we were walking along here at high tide, and the sea was choppy and it was absolutely beautiful. Some people like low tide, we like high tide. And today's probably was the warmest day of the summer, wouldn't you say, Wendy?
It's definitely one of them. It was absolutely perfect out today. So we were in a fundraising lawn bowling tournament. So we were out in the sun all day. So it felt a little warm towards the end, but the day itself, it was absolutely stunning. So there wasn't a cloud in the sky. There still isn't a cloud in the sky. It was just an absolute perfect day.
I think it reached 28 degrees today, and that is one of our favorite things about living in St. John, is when the rest of New Brunswick, sometimes the rest of the country, is under a heat warning. We rarely ever get to 30 degrees in the summertime. It's just usually very beautiful, nice and warm, but we don't get the outrageous heat. And we do get fog, and that is one of the byproducts of having a milder climate along the Bay of Fundy. But the good thing is, if you don't like fog, then you're never more than a 10-minute drive to get away from it.
Oh, there's a little sea dog that just popped his head up there. It never shows up on camera, but
No,
there's
it
some big
won't,
guys.
but it's down here, something
Yeah.
down at the bottom of your screen. Sea dog is just the local term for seals, harbor seals, and they come especially at low tide to do their feeding. And so if we pan to the right, up there is where you would find Reversing Falls, which is one of the huge natural phenomena that where the tides actually change direction twice a day. So normally you would expect a river to outflow into the sea, but twice a day the sea actually forces the river water back upstream, and you can actually watch the high tide pushing water, reversing it along the river. So that's why we call it Reversing Falls.
So there's a lot of salt water in our river in the St. John area.
Yeah, the St. John River extends all the way to the north of the province and even actually across the U.S. border. And so a lot of that part would be fresh water, but as it comes and mixes with the Bay of Fundy, we do get quite a high saltwater content in parts of the river here. And this is the actual harbor here. And so further out, which we can't see right now, is the actual Bay of Fundy, and then up to the right is the St. John River. So just a quick one today, just to show you again what we see and why we love it. And and just to I want to give a quick shout out to someone we met while we were sitting in this very spot.
Oh, yes.
We met one of our viewers, Carlos from Venezuela, I believe.
Yeah.
He introduced himself a week or so ago to us while we sat on this very bench. And he told us that our videos were what made him decide to move from Venezuela to St. John.
Yeah.
And very touching to us to hear that. And, you know, it just inspires us to keep giving you all a look at our city.
Yes. So this cityscape, this beautiful day, another reason why we love St. John.